In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the recent NEC restoration show of which I was a part. But first, here's me cleaning the intricate alloys on a Sapphire Cosworth. So let's take a look around the stand which I'm a part of. Now, this is basically an online community called Modern Classic Executive Cars, and we've been in existence since around 2018. First off, the Cosworth. That is the boot lid which I recently G3'd, which looks absolutely fantastic, and also the boot spoiler. The black along the edge actually is painted, so that'll need to be painted. We didn't get round to doing that at the show, but I did T-cut the roof of the Cosworth and also give it a bit of a sort of a general wax as well, so it is looking pretty good. It is a good classic usable example. It has obviously the YB turbo and the 200 block for those that are interested, and it's one of my favourite cars of the show. This is the Calibra, which belongs to a friend of mine called Ben Adams. He has owned this for around about a year now or so, and it is in this rather interesting colour, which is actually grey, believe it or not, but it does look purple in certain lights. On this car I just replaced the slightly tired handbrake gaiter and also polished out some minor scratches on the front and rear bumpers and treated it to a full wax as well, so nothing too strenuous or arduous, but a nice usable car again, and actually in very good shape as well. Here we have my mum's Astra G, so this is an Astra Bertone. Astra G convertible. This is the 1.8 exclusive. Now, something that I learnt over the weekend is, first off, it will have 17-inch alloys, which it does have. They're just off the car at the moment, waiting for me to get them refurbished. The interior is actually a turbo interior, but because it is a 2006 model, it has the turbo interior, the turbo back box, it would seem, and also the cruise control as well, which is quite unusual, and also those turbo alloys which I mentioned earlier. For this I treated the seats to some glip tone, polished the headlights to remove a lot of oxidisation, and treated the car to a full polish as well. A video coming up will actually show how I've managed to transform the look of these headlights, so they do actually look a lot better than they did when we started the show. Incidentally, the wheels on it at the moment are often exclusive and are 16 inches. This is quite possibly my favourite Rover 800 in existence. It is a car that I actually once owned. This is the earliest known Sterling still in existence, and it belongs to my good friend Alex. He has owned the car since 2015. I acquired the car in about 2014 or so, if I remember rightly, and handed it over to him, or sold it to him, because he really wanted an early Sterling. There are some really interesting things about this car. First off, it's number 672. Second off, it's one of 1,500 which would have left Cowley to be placed into dealerships around the country. And it has a number of interesting features which really sort of belie the fact that it is a pre-production vehicle. There's a piece of wiring in the boot that was extended at the factory, let's say, with just a couple of wire clips and things, or spade connectors rather. And there's also some additional metalwork around those top boot corners which you don't see on later models. So there are some elements of increased engineering on this version that you didn't see on the actual later versions. It also drives unlike any 800 I've ever owned, in the actual fact that it's very smooth. It's a very nice drive. Handling is a bit wallowy, but then again, it's an early Sterling, and that's what they were like. But on the whole, it's just a lot nicer to drive. And that's the stand itself. So, as you can see, there's the Astra, and we've got the Calibra. We also had the Sierra RS Cosworth as well, and we're in a really good position immediately opposite the toilets and the canteen, which was excellent if we needed food or other things. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the photos which I took at the show. So let's start off with the XJs, one of my favourite cars, probably in my top 20. Moving on to a RS Cosworth 3-door. Little shot of my Astra Bertone, as you can see there. Engine bay of the Cosworth that we have on stand. The stand itself of all the cars presented. As you can see, we've got them nicely laid out. The two Vauxhalls together, so you can see obviously that the Calibra was technically replaced by the Astra G Bertone. Rather nice one of the RS Cosworth there, the Sapphire Cosworth. And a nice comparison between the two, the Calibra and the Bertone, with their rather fetching paint finishes. The Astra in Silver Lightning and the Bertone in something that I can't remember the name of, but is apparently grey, believe it or not. A couple of brochures which I got for the show, including the mats which I managed to sort out as well, which are looking pretty good. And for the duration of the show, the top was down. One of my favourite cars of the show, this Renault 17 in this rather nice metallic green. My granddad had a 12 in the same colour metallic green. Absolutely pristine, original condition, and I was absolutely drawn to the interior. It smells of the 1970s, and those little pod dials are just absolutely brilliant. I mean, look at the auxiliary gauges there for water temperature and fuel level. And obviously battery charge and the weird symbols that Renault decided to use. And there's the centre console with the radio and the clock and the heater controls. And you'll notice that the Renault logo is rather unusual. Now, the Renault logo itself was only used for a year. They wanted to use it as their new corporate identity, but they were taken to court and were unable to use it. This is just a brochure shot of the wheels that we saw earlier, and you can see there that the wheels were around £18.50. Here's my favourite Metro of the show, this early MG Metro. Quite a fan of the Metros. A couple of Mantas, the Manta A and the Manta B, both brilliant looking cars. One of the last MGBs ever produced. And here is this rather fetching Capri Cabaret, which has a 1.6 litre Pinto breathed on by Harris Performance. Probably my favourite Mercedes of the show. This is a 560 SEC with Larinza wheels and the Larinza badge. Absolutely stunning car, and certainly in my list of top 20 cars of all time. Took a photo of this because it was newer than the Astra, and I thought if that can be there, so can the Astra. That is a Middlebridge Scimitar. I've always liked the Scimitar, especially the Middlebridge versions. That is an early Series 1 XJ. That is a TWR XJS V12. There's another XJS, and also next to it an XJS-C. Same colour as the one that some woman had in Crossroads, if I remember rightly. That's the Club Calibra stand. In the centre you've got a turbo model. That is a 3-door Astra Estate. You literally just do not see those anywhere anymore, especially in this pretty good condition. These were once quite common. This is an LXI version, 5-door Astra Estate. Quite common and also quite popular in that colour as well. Onto the Discovery stand, or Project J. This is a very early prototype Discovery, as you can see there. And then we have this rather nice Astra GTE, obviously next to the other Astras. Always like a Chevette. There's quite a nice Chevette with some sporty wheels and an as-found condition engine. A nice broad-speed Capri. You cannot beat a Capri, to be honest. Always look fantastic and are on my list of cars that I must own. Same story with the TR8. I don't know if I would ever own one, but I do really like them. You cannot beat a Mark V Cortina. This one is a 1.6 GL. And this is a Ford Probe, and it's nice to see these actually getting a bit of classic attention because they were pretty striking to look at the time, and it is nice that they have been recognised. One of my other favourite cars is the Ford Anglia. Always like the shape of the Ford Anglia and brings me back fond memories of the young ones and Roland Rat. Always liked the Mark II RS2000 as well as the Mark III RS Turbo. That's a Series 1 incidentally. That one is a Series 2. That's the engine bay of the Series 1. And a couple of interesting sort of photos also, as you can see there. That is the RS Cosworth that we saw earlier. That's actually an earlier 3-door model. That's a later Sapphire Cosworth, like the one that we had on our stand. That is a shot of the wheel on the RS2000. We always like those RS4 spokes. This is a Fiat 127 Sport, and a car that evokes some memories for me because it was the same type of car, model, that was owned by the lady that ran the stables that I used to go to. This was my car of the show. I've always liked them. I've never seen one in person. This is a Leyland P76 with the 4.4 litre V8, courtesy of Leyland Australia. Imported into this country, this particular example, by a chap in the Merchant Navy in about 1977, and it's been with its current owner since 2001. This was the stand immediately behind ours. There were a couple, well, 3 Rover SD1s, including this really nice, fairly late Vitesse model. My favourite Avocado 2.6, which does the show circuit. And then I got a photo of this rather interesting coloured or wrapped Tickford Capri. And I took quite a few photos of this as I wanted to see how the turbo plumbing differed from that of the Turbo Technics model. The chap that owned it asked if I needed any help. I said no, I'm just taking photos. I mean, it is a car show after all, and people will take photos. Always liked the Mark II Granada. This one is a facelift example. It's a 2.8i Gear X. And it's seen better days, but it is not beyond redemption. It's actually quite solid. It's actually riding on its TRXs as well. Last of the line Capri 280. Absolutely love the Mark III Capri. This is a Granada Mark I Piranha with a 302 cubic inch or 4.9/5 litre V8. That's a Renault 11. That's actually a Phase 2. That is a Renault Avantime. Based on the Espace, and actually the last product to leave the Matra factory in France, which is a great shame. It is a very innovative car and was Renault's idea of what an executive car should be. Another shot of the 17, which we saw earlier, and a shot of the interesting rear light treatment on the Avantime, which is... I really like them. I think they're fantastic things. They're just completely bonkers, and there's no reason for them to exist, but I'm glad that they do. And there's quite a few styling cues that certainly made it into the Megane of that generation. You can see that dash there is pure last Matra produced Espace. And then we have another shot of the 11. The number of miles that we covered in the Astra, along with how much it cost to fill, worked out at about 44 miles to the gallon. And there we go. That was the NEC. More videos coming of what I did over the weekend. If you have found this interesting, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll speak to you again and see you again all very soon. Thanks for watching.